never gets better than it gets right now. It never gets better than it quits. It never gets better than it gets right now. It never gets better than it quits. It never gets better than it gets right now.
Good evening! Welcome to Tweed Up, where we take video games, music, movies, and more way too seriously. I'm Neil, this is Zac, and today we are reviewing the 9th album by Canadian indie rock band The New Pornographers.
Woo!
It is called Continue as a Guest.
Cool name.
It is a good name. Yeah, I continue as guest
I
pretty as often as I can. Let's see. The New Pornographers. First of all, I think it's a great band name. Be careful when you Google it, but and there are different. I've heard different explanations of the band name.
I've never heard any.
But my favorite, and I don't even know if it's true, but I like it, is that I think Jerry Falwell or something called rock and roll the new pornography at some point, and so hence the New Pornographers.
Rock and roll.
It's a great band name, I think.
That's brilliant.
And they've been around since '97, so been around for a while. They consist of the primary singer-songwriter A.C. Newman. This is one of his solo records.
This is kind of one of those like super groups where people come and go.
It is, right? Yes, and you also have
Cream.
You have Nico Case, who is amazing vocalist. This is a fantastic solo album of hers.
That's a beautiful album cover.
It is. It's super cool. You have Catherine Calder, also on keys, guitar, and vocals. John Collins on bass. Todd Fancy on lead guitar. Joe Siders on drums and vocals.
Did you say who plays that amazing saxophone?
No, I did not.
Oh, man.
But there is a lot of saxophone on this record in particular. And let's see, Dan Behar has been a part of the band for most of its existence. He really he does not sing on this record and has one co-write. It's actually the first track. Yeah. So that's something that's different than, he hasn't really been a part of the New Pornographers for the last couple albums, kind of been doing Destroyer is his big thing right now. But let's get into it. I mean, are you familiar with the New Pornographers?
A bit, I don't think you can really dodge them. I've heard like their big songs, but never listened to a full album, actually. This is the first time I've listened to a full record.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I'm a pretty big fan. I've been, this was like, their most recent record, Whiteout Conditions, I think it was like 2018 or something. That's excellent. They have a bunch of really good records. Twin Cinema is fantastic, so I'm a pretty big fan. I've seen them live.
That Nico Lee cover, man. Or
Nico Case. Yeah, I've seen them live, and they're an excellent live game. They're very professional. Nico Case is just she's an amazing vocalist on recording and live, and like I've seen them at the Newport, it really like filled up the space.
You're figuring out where we live.
Oh, sorry. So let's get into it. Track 1 is called Really, Really Light. That's the co-write with Dan Behar. How'd you feel about this track?
So when I, popped it on for the first time, this is the first track, and I got into it pretty immediately. Started doing a little bop to the head. I'm enjoying this. It's a good song. It's a catchy tune. I think it's the single on the record.
Yeah, they've released 3 tracks as singles so far, but this one has a video, and it does.
It's a good first single, man.
Yeah, it's got a really cool it's very fuzzy guitars and like a kind of syncopated guitar and drums through like most of the verses, which gives it when they get to the chorus, it's like sort of a release because it's less syncopated and more straightforward. I really like it.
What is that song about?
I have no idea.
All right, me either. Number 2, Pontius Pilate's Home Movies.
Yeah.
First time listening to it again, just kept going. Pretty big change from the first track.
Yeah, it's less fuzzy guitars. This almost gives off like the Shins vibes.
I hadn't thought of that, but you're right.
Yeah, a lot of acoustic guitar, and this is your saxophone pops up here.
There's a lot of saxophone, and I tell you what. I'm not a guy that walks around saying, "Man, I love saxophone," or "I want to."
But you like it in this?
But when there's a saxophone
nice.
in a song, I tend to enjoy it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to go the other way.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, my wife is not a fan of the sax generally. Yeah.
Come to think of it,
I mean, she's okay with like in like jazz and stuff, but she doesn't really like it in her pop music or like rock music.
Does your wife like jazz?
Sometimes.
Okay. All right. My wife does not like jazz, and I don't blame her. So, yeah.
But I think Pontius Pilate's Home Movies is a really good song. I think it really showcases. Nico Case singing sounds great. I think the lyrics are really awesome. It has some really cool lines like "I only like art when it's changing the subject." I think is a really cool line.
That is a good one.
I also like he mentions the Overton window. Are you aware of the Overton window? You looked it up because of this song?
No, actually, I knew beforehand. But no, tell me about the Overton window.
Well, it's this concept that a lot of conservatives like to use. It's about there's things that are sort of acceptable by mainstream society, and there are the things that are outside of this Overton window, and conservatives have this idea that we're that us the liberals are trying to move the Overton window.
I'm a progressive.
And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of. I really like A.C. Newman's songwriting. I think it's very intelligent, and like you can get a lot out of, if you actually read the lyrics, there's a lot of thought put into it. He approaches it, I feel like a professional like songwriter. You know what I mean?
We're gonna come back to this.
Yeah. We might be, yeah.
So track 2, first couple of listens, thought it was a nice little bop. Continued, the record along really nicely. Led into, although, again, music type change between this and track 3. Cat and Mouse with the Light, which I'm gonna say is my favorite song on the record.
Nice! It is really good. I love this one. Definitely led by like keyboards, not as much guitar.
There is no guitar in there.
Yeah, and it's got your saxophone again.
But Nico Case, her voice, don't tell me that she's not the one singing, because I believe
that Catherine is the main vocalist.
Okay,
on the song.
Well there you go. My note says Nico Case's voice really shines in this track, but there you go.
I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that
he's probably Catherine, right. Yeah. But yeah, that was like I really loved the.
There's some really good lyrics in it too. Like
the chorus.
You've got some stuff.
I can't stand that you love me.
Yeah. That's what I wrote down as well.
Oh, yeah.
I think A.C. Newman has this knack of creating phrases like very like normal phrases that you would say and making them really cool, like either choruses or pre-choruses or bridges, that repeat.
There's a lot of choruses in his songs. You're gonna hear these choruses a lot.
All right, track 4.
Yeah, Last and Beautiful.
This may be my favorite song on the album. Yeah.
All right.
It's one of my favorite songs on the album.
It's okay. My first time listening to it, I thought it was great. I'm not. This is one that I think is very highly repetitive with the chorus,
but the chorus is awesome.
It is. But man, you can't have like 2 lines and then go back into a 4-line chorus. All right, hold on. This is more to come. You can see where we're getting to. But hold on. What's that dog barking noise that happens like 18 times?
I know, it's like at the very beginning. Yeah. I don't know.
It's at the very beginning and throughout the entire song.
But this one does go back to like the fuzzy guitars.
Do you own a Chihuahua? I own a Chihuahua. Actually, 2.
Oh, your barking noise was driving your dog?
It was driving me nuts because I like, what's going on?
I like a lot of the lyrics. I like the dotted all the I's but one. Yeah. And then the chorus, I think this really exemplifies like what I was saying about him taking simple phrases that you would say a lot and making a cool chorus out of it. It's like, I don't want to go by myself, come with me.
Yeah.
I don't want to go by myself. I can see him like sitting at home messing around with an acoustic guitar and coming up with that and thinking, oh, it's really good. And I really like that,
Yeah. Stuff I cannot do. I don't like talking about any musician because I can't write music.
But yeah, I like the idea of taking a kind of a relatively everyday phrase and kind of positioning it as a chorus or a part of a song, you know?
Yeah, no, it's a really fair point. When I was listening to this song, and particularly that chorus, I don't want to go by myself, come with me, I was thinking about the Lana Del Rey album and how much better she did it.
So
the Grands.
I hear what you're saying, and we'll talk about that.
It's coming. Can you tell what's going on?
Let's get through the rest of these tracks.
Continuous guest, the title track, number
really
5.
Good.
It is really good.
It's got a lot of synth, a lot of bass, a lot of sax.
Yeah.
And your fuzzy guitars do come in eventually. It's pretty slow.
It is. And it's about depression and superficiality, and I knew what it was about. Can you see where we're going with this?
I love that with the long fade out. Yeah. Like towards the end. I really like that song.
Track 6.
Track 6 called Bottle Episodes. It's got nice, clean guitars. Has a different feel from the rest of the album up to that point. Were
there any drums in that record on that track? Well, there are some, but you're my friend, you're a drummer. Like, wouldn't you hate to be that guy during that song? I mean, I guess you're getting paid and everything, but it's like literally don't.
I bet if they perform that live, there's probably more.
It's gonna do more fun stuff. All right.
But I don't really know exactly what this song is about, but I wrote down a metaphor about being inside a TV, a CRT, I think, because he talks about like bent glass and stuff, you know, and it seems like it's like coming from inside the television. But
so I don't really know my speculation was that it's about aging. There's a line, shouldn't have to wait so long for everything to make sense, I say. Yeah. Which, being kind of middle-aged now, resonated a little bit. But yeah, good track.
I liked it.
Yeah. Track number 7, Marie and the Undersea.
Yeah. A lot of synth.
Yeah.
I wrote down that I think it'll be awesome live. I really like the drumming in it. He does a lot of like kind of toms and rim clicks, you know. It gives it a really dramatic feel.
I don't know what those terms mean, but I will try to add them in for everyone else. And I do agree. One of my notes is, now there's some drums for this one.
Yeah.
I think that this one I could tell it was about COVID, right? There's a line, the lyric, all the lines left from your mask. From your mask tattooed face.
Yeah, and so from what I understand, this record is like a COVID album, and they sort of worked on it remotely for a couple years.
Making an album via Teams.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Another repetitive chorus, but catchy tune.
I like the chorus in that song.
Hey man, I'm just saying they're repetitive. Yeah. Good words. Track 8, Angel Cover.
Yeah.
Yep.
Synth and guitar. I really like the line, why you would put your faith in a wild guess, who knows, you know? I believe that this is a co-write with A.C. Newman and someone I didn't write down the name, but I think that's a really good song too.
Yeah, it is one that I liked. Yep. And I liked track 9, Firework in the Falling Snow.
I put a star next to that one. That one might be one of my favorites on the album. It's got probably the nicest melody.
Yes.
You know, it's a lot of synth and bass, you know, and then it's whatever you're selling, I'll take it all. It's pretty much a straightforward love song.
Yeah.
You know, it's got the verses have a great melody. Chorus, I think, is not that repetitive.
It's
right?
Actually not. Yeah.
Because it's got like different parts. You know, have the part where he says firework in a falling snow, you know, and then he has the whatever you're selling, I'll take it all. And there's some other like repeated lines in there.
I wish you'd have sang that, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. My second favorite track on the record, and I really liked it. It's
good.
Yep, and we were almost there.
Yeah, track 10, the Wish Automatic Suite. Suite is a good word for it. Yep. It's kind of cool because it's only like 5 minutes long, but it seems because it's longer than everything else on the album. It seems pretty epic, and it is like in 3 distinct parts. You know, starts out really quiet with just like kind of A.C. Newman and like a drum machine and some keys.
Yep.
And he's saying "Wish Automatic" and then some other words.
Yep.
And then it transitions, and I wrote down nice tambourine feature. There's a tambourine that comes in to transition from that beginning part into the middle part.
That's a tambourine.
Yeah, and it's like so loud in the mix. It's louder than and it's just like, and it's way louder than everything in the mix. And then everything else comes in, like the full band comes in. And I really like that second part, which I called the way too many eyes on the prize part. I think as a band, the new Pornographers sound probably at their best on this album in that second part, second part of this song. Yeah.
Agreed.
And then there's another transition, and then the vocal levels like go up.
Yeah.
Like
they increase the gain on the vocals.
And they're way louder in this third part of this song than they are anywhere in the whole album. Like most of the album, his vocals are, and even their vocals, there's a lot of vocalists in this band, but their vocals are usually kind of like a mid, I feel like they're a little bit, they're they're not on top of the music, but at this very end part, they have like, it's meet me in the mirror maze, tell me when you find your way out, which is very cool.
It is cool.
And it's like, it stands out so much because the vocals are so much louder than they are on the rest of the record.
It finishes what I think of as strong and made a really big impression. And so let's get into it.
Here's where I want to. I think Zac.
What am I going to say?
Has some criticisms for the album, and I don't know what they are because we haven't really talked about it yet. I will say I've liked this band for a long time, and something that I like about this band that you may not, and maybe sometimes they get criticized for, is that I would say there's not much heart in the music, the writing.
Yeah.
But I think that
these songs aren't about anything.
But I think they are about things.
No, they're not.
They are about things.
This album is not about anything.
But they're not about emotions necessarily. Yeah. They're about some of the songs are about emotion. But I think what I'm saying is I think that
I like that you knew what I was doing.
It's nice to listen to a group of musicians.
Oh, this is cotton candy for your brain. Like, I don't have to think. I can just
It's not like that at all.
Okay.
I'm saying it's nice to listen to some artists that are not like desperate and like filled with despair, and like I feel like these people are just professionals, making a product.
Is Andrew WK desperate?
Yes, 100%.
He is filled with despair.
And so is Lana Del Rey. I mean,
real musicians are depressed.
So are many of the, the people a lot of people that make great. I mean, look.
Let's get Kurt Cobain's opinion on it.
We called Black Country New Road our favorite record of last year.
I mean, yeah.
And I like that, but I think it is also nice. For me, I like the way that they approach music, and there are emotions and emotional
making
topics.
Money.
No, it's not. They aren't about making money. Like they've been around.
I want you to know that I recommend this record if you're just wanting something to listen to and not think about. It's great, and the songs are well put together.
It's not, but there is.
But it's not about anything.
No, it didn't
make me feel anything. The more I listened to it, the less I felt each time.
It is about things. It's just not about like it's not about despair or anger, and not everything has to be.
Which track is it that he's like, oh, it must be nice to have the luxury to let go or something like that?
It's pretty early in the track list. Yeah.
Yeah.
It might even be the second track or something like that.
I almost felt like that line, and I'll put it up here somewhere, that it's like privileged, man. I don't want to hear like some like famous rock and roll singer.
They're not that famous.
Well, whatever. You got 28 of their CDs.
You're acting like, but they don't. People aren't talking about them on a regular. Anyway, it's not like they're pop superstars. You know what I mean?
Fair.
They're just putting out the music that they want to make, and I feel like they're approaching it from a...
And that's cool, man. If you want to get together with your friends and play music, you could sing about 7-Eleven. You can sing about cars.
You don't have to be depressed to make good music. I'm saying that. I'm not sure if I believe it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying it.
You do have to be depressed to make the best music.
Anyway, I really like this.
So, thumbs up or down? I'm going to go... Yeah. There we go.
But
All right.
I'm a fan. I like it a lot. So
and hey, I listened to this record honestly like 9 times.
And you don't have to be depressed
9
to make good art.
times.
9 times.
Not. Yes. Well.
I'm sticking to it.
Now you're saying art, but anyway.
I am saying art.
I listened to it 9 times. It never hurt me. I did like it less as it went on, but it still gets to listen to it. Don't buy it.
All right. Thanks for watching Tweed Up. We'll see you next time. Peace out.
Peace.
Captain Depression, we salute you. 'Cause I'm only a private, but you know my heart is in it. Yeah, I swear my heart is in it. I never asked you for anything. It's exactly what I got. I never asked you for anything. Captain Depression.